hues hidden in harvest's hay. In a quaint village nestled between two hills, where crops thrived and rivers sang, there existed a peculiar tradition. Every harvest season, after the golden grains were collected and stored, children would jump and play in the leftover hay, searching for something, not a needle, but hues, colors that weren't supposed to be there. Evelina, a sprightly woman in her mid-30s with wisdom beyond her years, was the village's historian. She was responsible for keeping the tales and traditions of the village alive. Often, children would gather around her during chilly nights, eager to hear stories from the yesteryears. This year, an especially curious young lad named Theo asked Evelina about the origin of their unique tradition. With a twinkle in her eye, Evelina began. Long ago, this village was colorless. Not in the sense of a lack of green trees or blue waters, but a lack of diversity. People here did the same jobs, spoke the same way, and thought the same thoughts. It was peaceful, but monotone. However, the universe, as you know, loves variety. One fateful harvest season, an artist from a faraway land visited our village. With her, she brought paints, canvases, and brushes, tools unfamiliar to the villagers. But more than that, she brought a new perspective. She began to paint the mundane life of the village, but with splashes of color and imagination. A simple haystack would become a palace of dreams, a flowing river would get the colors of a rainbow after a storm. The villagers were mesmerized. They saw their everyday lives through a new lens, realizing there was magic in the mundane. They could think differently, live vibrantly, and be unique while still being part of the community. The artist didn't stay long. But before she left, she hid her paints within the hay of the fields, hoping that the children of the village, with their innate curiosity, would find them. And find them they did. Year after year, harvest after harvest. Theo, wide-eyed, looked at the hay piles differently now. That evening, as he dived into a stack, his fingers brushed against a set of old, wooden paint tubes. With glee, he started painting, adding his own chapter to the village's colorful history. The tradition wasn't just about finding hues in the hay. It was a reminder of the village's journey from monotony to diversity, a testament to the transformative power of perspective. It was about celebrating differences and the magic that results when various colors, whether of paint or of thoughts, come together. Candlelit caverns of celestial chimes. The underground expanse was a marvel few had witnessed. Stalactites and stalagmites, with their intricate designs, seemed like masterpieces curated by time. But the true wonder of this subterranean domain wasn't its stunning formations. When night fell, and the world above was covered in a blanket of stars, the cave came alive with a mellifluous symphony. Mila had heard tales about the cavern's unique phenomenon from her grandmother. A prodigious violinist, her grandmother had described the sounds as a blend between the finest strings of a Stradivarius and the gentle hum of a far-off galaxy. And now, with her violin in tow, Mila was determined to experience it for herself. Navigating the twisted pathways, Mila found herself in a chamber illuminated by thousands of tiny, glowing creatures, bioluminescent organisms that clung to the cave walls, casting eerie yet enchanting light. Drawn to a corner, she saw an arrangement of various-sized stalactites and stalagmites, which, upon closer inspection, seemed almost deliberately placed, like the keys of a grand piano. Mila began to play her violin. Soft notes echoed through the cave, creating ripples of melody. The cave responded. Each time she played a note, a corresponding chime rang out from the stalactites and stalagmites. It was as if they were communicating, her violin and the cave, in a dialogue older than time. Hours seemed like minutes as Mila played, lost in the music. The bioluminescent organisms pulsed in rhythm, bathing the cavern in a dance of light and shadow. This was no ordinary cave, it was a relic of ancient times, holding within its depths the music of the cosmos. Exhausted but exhilarated, Mila finally stopped playing. The chimes continued for a while, echoing her melodies, before eventually fading into silence. But the glow from the walls remained, as if the cave was preserving the memory of their duet. Outside, dawn was breaking. Mila emerged from the cavern, her soul enriched by the celestial symphony she had partaken in. She realized that sometimes, magic wasn't about spells or sorcery. It was about moments when time stood still, and the universe sang in harmony with the heart. She didn't speak of the cave to anyone, not wanting to disturb its sanctity with excessive visitors. But she carried its melodies within her, letting them inspire her compositions, creating music that felt both ancient and new. And so, the legend of the cavern remained, waiting for another soul to stumble upon its wonders, ready to share its cosmic song with those willing to listen. The Silent Serenade of Starlight. In an age where the lines between the possible and impossible were continually blurring, Eloise had an unusual ability. When the sun sank below the horizon and darkness blanketed the world, she could hear the stars. Not just see them, but hear them. Every star, twinkling in the vast expanse of the night sky, sang a song. To the ordinary ear, the night was silent, punctuated only by the chirping of crickets or the distant howl of a lone wolf. But for Eloise, the stars sang lullabies of ages gone by, of worlds unknown and stories untold. At first, Eloise believed everyone could hear them. As a child, she'd lie on the grass during cool summer nights, gazing up, letting the celestial melodies wash over her. She'd ask her friends if they enjoyed the music of the stars as much as she did. They'd laugh, thinking it was just another game of pretend. As years passed, Eloise learned to keep her unique gift a secret. But the stars continued their nightly serenade, each note a whisper of cosmic tales. The constellations had their harmonies, each distinct. Orion's belt hummed a courageous anthem, while Cassiopeia played a soft, regal lullaby. One evening, while enveloped in the starry serenade, a particularly bright star caught her eye. It shone more luminously than the rest, its song louder, clearer, and filled with an emotion Eloise couldn't quite decipher. Curiosity piqued, she began researching this mysterious star. She discovered it was named Lyria, a relatively young star, only a few million years old. Armed with a telescope, notebook, and her insatiable curiosity, Eloise started documenting the songs of Lyria. Night after night, she transcribed the celestial notes, attempting to decode the mysterious melodies. The songs told of a planet orbiting Lyria, of landscapes untouched by time, of rivers that float with liquid gold, and of a civilization that danced under the starlight, celebrating the universe's wonders. One fateful night, as the first notes of Lyria began, a new sound intertwined with the familiar melody, a voice, soft and ethereal. "Eloise," it called. She felt a connection, a pull, something inexplicable. The voice continued, "Your heart hears what many cannot. Know that you are not alone in the universe. Our worlds may be light years apart, but in this moment, we are connected by the song of starlight." The message was brief, but its impact was profound. Eloise realized that through the vastness of space, across unimaginable distances, two souls had connected, if only for a fleeting moment. Years later, Eloise would become a renowned astrophysicist, her research inspired by that otherworldly connection. Though she delved into the scientific intricacies of the universe, she never lost her sense of wonder for the silent serenades that had shaped her destiny. And every night, she'd find a moment to listen, reminding herself of the magic that existed, hidden in plain sight.